Well, it's been a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. A lot more complex. And there have been some points when I thought, do you know what? Can I do this? Should I give up? Now, I'm not talking about moving to the Isle of Tiree. Compared to this, it's been relatively painless. I'm talking about YouTube and learning the skill of putting stuff up on YouTube. It is really complex, and every day takes a huge amount of learning. I was able to move to a tiny island in the middle of nowhere, pick up a flock of sheep, look after those, start a woolly hat company, make loads of changes to life. But for some reason, my Everest was sort of starting a YouTube channel. It's taken about 3 years to get to the point where I suppose you have the confidence to get up and start trying to make YouTube videos that people might find interesting. Now, it's been great trying to understand how best to tell the story of moving to this tiny little island, but it's come with its huge challenges. It's like, well, it's learning a whole new skill set from scratch without anyone really to teach you. YouTube is completely opposite to the approach I took to moving to a tiny island. How could I create stories that people would enjoy and that would be worth watching, because you know I'm taking up your valuable time? Wow, there is a lot to learn and a lot to get wrong, consistently getting it wrong, but I think it's going to be really worthwhile. But it took a bit of a break because I wanted to make sure that well, we got better at it really. In the first blog we talked about we'd done it, we got here, we just took that leap, but we didn't explain how and why. So I thought today I would try and shed a bit of light on that. This is kelp, by the way. Now, in the first few vlogs, I mentioned that how all this happened, how we got to Tiree, and the fact that we'd done it. But I didn't tell you why. I didn't tell you how all those things happened. So this vlog, I'm going to try and do that. How did it get to the point where we have a flock of sheep on a tiny island in a beautiful inner Hebridean location? By the way, this is Popcorn and this is Athena. I can really say it's down to, and I sort of place the blame on one person in particular, that we moved to a place that we'd never seen, never been to before or anything like that. It's a chap called Malcolm Gladwell. And I don't know if any of you have read his books, and I mentioned him when I did one of the live from a field. And I'll put a link to that in the description below. Oh, yeah. So Malcolm Gladwell is a pretty famous American or Canadian writer who I think spends most of his time in the US. He's written 5 best-selling, sort of listed in the New York Times books about really interesting stuff. And one of those books is called Blink. And it's all about how we are able to make snap decisions, those gut feelings when the time's right. But on the whole, we've forgotten how to do that. After thousands, maybe millions of years of evolution where we were running around in not a lot, chasing things that we wanted to eat, or they were chasing us wanting to eat us, we sort of got a feeling that, you know, if you're sat somewhere and there's a rustle in the bushes behind you, are you able to eat it, or is it able to eat you? And just make that sort of split decision. And it's called thin slicing. Oh, hello, yes, hello. And it's the thing that we say, oh, you know, it doesn't feel right, or It's that gut feeling. You're heavy, young man. Oh. And you know, we don't tend to listen to that. We'll have a feeling, and then we'll spend days, hours, months, years even trying to figure out if it's the right thing to do. But actually, in his book Blink, he says sometimes, you know, more than capable of just going for it, and that's what we did. Hello, yes, hello. I've done it twice in the last couple of years. The first time was when we landed on Tiree for the first time. It felt like home, so we made it home. No thinking, no planning, we just did it, and it's all down to reading the book Blink. The second was these guys, when our friendly neighbour, who very kindly lets us use their fields while we're trying to secure our own little farm, or croft as they're called in Scotland. Hello, yes. We said yes to the first orphan sheep. And that thin slicing is the example that Malcolm gives, is you can get really great art historians who can walk into a room, covered in artwork, and they can tell you, like that, which one they feel is a fake. Then loads of people will come in and try and justify that. Oh, hello, yes, hello. So that's what we've been doing. We've been listening to our gut, and it really has paid off in all the best ways. We live on what is a beautiful island. We have this amazing flock of sheep. We've just acquired a little plot of land to build a house on. And I'm going to do a few vlogs, on how we've done that. And we're going to do that all on our own. We're not going to use anybody else. We're going to design it ourselves. We're going to go through the whole planning process and show that general, Joe blogs, just like me and you, can make that happen and create their dream. And in the process, maybe save a bit of money. Hello. And that's something that everyone needs to do at the moment, I'm sure. So yes, this thin slicing, or listening to your gut, is why I'm sat here now. And I would recommend anyone to go out, buy the book or get it from a library. It's really worth a read, and it is genuinely a life changer. Hello, popcorn. So yeah, that is how we got here. Why we got here. The why is we just listened to ourselves. Oh.
Dreaming, are we dreaming? Dreaming, are we dreaming? Dreaming, are we dreaming?
What I would love is for you, the people whose time I am really grateful you're giving up to watch this, I'd love some suggestions on what you would like to see about moving to a tiny island, a remote tiny island. Yeah. I hope that it's been interesting. Love to hear your suggestions, so please feel free to put them down in the comments. Hit that subscribe button or the like button. Again, thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one.